Bryan Houston here with Coach Randy McFarlin as we kind of go back over the 2012 season and back at the ball game the other night, 63-58, the loss to Wiley East that eliminated you from the playoffs. What did you think about the football game, Coach?
Well, a typical playoff football game. I mean, you've got two good football teams, and both are playing the ball game with all they've got, and someone has to have the loss. And unfortunately for us, the ball didn't quite bounce our way enough and didn't quite get the break we needed, and end up losing a one-score game. But, man, the kids fought hard, and it was a tremendous year. And you have to realize in high school football, out of the hundreds of teams in the state, they all are striving for that state championship, and only one team in each division ends the season on a win. So anytime you lose in the playoff, it's a tough loss and it hurts.
Did you go home and have nightmares of seeing Jabari Anderson running for almost 400 yards against you the other night?
Oh, incredible. I tell you, we just couldn't tackle him. We knew we had to double the receivers. The number 3 receiver was incredible, and we kept the double on him. At halftime, we even said we've got to still double the receivers, and they caught passes even in that. And we had kids in position to make tackles sometimes. We just couldn't make the tackle on him. And their offensive line was good. Their running game was good. Their passing game was good. And they're a good football team. Mm-hmm. And on the other hand, each team had equal possession. We talk about it. And each team scored 8 times. It was a field position game in that they beat us on 2 field goals and then the extra point on the try. And we punted 6 times. They punted 3. And so that was the difference. It was a possession game. It was a field position game. It seemed like when we got the stop on them, they had us backed up on our end, and we went a 3 and out and had to give it right back to them again. It was that kind of a game.
I had to laugh when we saw the Hail Mary at the end of the half for the second straight week when you get the ball with less than 20 seconds to go. Was that thing designed that way, or did Dylan Cantrell just make a real heads-up play to toss it to Vincent Dunning?
Dylan just made the heads-up play and saw him standing there. And a lot of times you work a Hail Mary where you tip the ball up, and kind of designed that way, but that wasn't. We were just throwing it up to Dylan, and he makes the catch or controls the ball long enough just to tip it to Vincent, which was just running down the field also. And no, Dylan did that all on his own. And you think at that point, man, 2 weeks in a row, how incredible is that? That gave us the little fire we needed to win the ball game. But didn't work out.
And then tell me about the deflected pass that set up the winning touchdown for Wiley East.
Yeah, once again, we had the number 3 receiver bracketed underneath with the safety over the top, and Kobe got a great break on the ball, got his hands on the ball, and just one of those breaks in the game that happens, and a lot of times we've been on the receiving end of that. Mm-hmm. The same thing happened right before the half on the Hail Mary. That was a freak play. Well, that one was too, and it was a 3rd and long play. Thought Kobe had the pick, but there again, in games that close, there are so many little different scenarios here and there that would have made the difference. And just have to give Wiley East the credit. They made the plays when they had to.
What did you tell your kids after the game?
Oh, we don't know how proud I was of them. And nothing I said at that point was going to make them feel better. We were all hurting pretty good. And, I told them, I used a verse out of the Bible, just the one in Proverbs about trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your path straight. I said, that's all you can fall back and rely on. Use that with them. It was a very emotional moment for them and for me. And immediately after that, I had to just kind of walk away a little bit to collect myself again, because, man, I love those kids and love what they did and the type of team we have and the type of football program and athletic program White House now has.
When you think back on this season, what is it about this particular team that made them so special?
They always played from the heart. They had a great desire to be the best, and they worked to be the best. Had no issues with this football team, no discipline issues. They were there every day. They worked hard every day, and they walked on the field with a lot of confidence every week. And they played with confidence Friday night. And it is a very special group, and just the ability to play from the heart and find a way to win the ball game.
When I walked in here today, the office is already cleaned out, and I was a little stunned by that. So what are the thoughts going through your mind right now?
Well, I have no clue where my future goes now. I'm just open to all the job possibilities across the state. I'm in no issue. It's a tough place to be in. I've never been in this situation before, but I don't know where my direction leads. I don't think I'm through coaching. I enjoy it too much. Still have a lot to offer, I think. I got to decide, okay, retirement and then go coach somewhere at a private school. And people tell me retirement looks pretty good too, just to get out of the stress. I don't know. I'm just going to go day by day, and we'll look into the job opportunities as they open. And maybe by you need a week or two to come back down after the season. It's a withdrawal that coaches go through at the end of everything. You need to make no decision within the first couple of weeks after you get through. You need to just kind of let things get back to normal. Go through. It's actually a withdrawal, a physical withdrawal. We've been going 80 hours a week now for 14 weeks. And you've got to slow down and collect your thoughts and then start again.
How weird was this whole year for you, or did it bother you? Was it easier to prepare your team, get ready for it with all this hanging over you, knowing that this is probably going to be your last year here at White House, regardless of the way the season went? How did you handle that?
Well, my number one goal was to keep our football team separate from the issues going on. I didn't want to involve them. And I think we accomplished that goal, even though it might have been in their thoughts. In our weekly preparations and my dealings with them, there was never anything brought up about my job situation. It was all about this football team, and I think I did a great job of keeping them away from it. And I think that's the results we got from this team. They played and they were playing for their goal. They weren't playing for me. They were playing for that goal, that state championship. It wasn't a strange year for me because once you get rolling, you don't even think about it. And I'd get questioned a lot about it and have to deal with the media and things. But I always tried to stay positive with it and just shelter those kids from it.
Mm-hmm. And you obviously did a very good job of it. How gratifying is it to know that at least if you're going to have to go out, you go out with a season like this one?
Well, in coaching, coaches change. And my always thought is you always leave a program better than it was when you came in. And I have done that throughout my career. Every place I have coached, when we left, when our staff left, that program was much better than when we got there. And in White House, Texas, we probably did the best job of that of any place I've ever been. You just have to remember where this place was 9 years ago. And it's incredible how far we have come and where we're at now. And that's very gratifying to know that you leave a place in much better shape than it was before. Building a program is hard, and that it takes a lot of energy, and we accomplished that. And all the athletic programs at White House High School are competitive in all areas, and that's very gratifying. We have great coaches in place that have done a tremendous job. We're a family, and that's the way I approach the whole thing. And if you don't have that family concept, protect each other, watch each other's back, so to speak, it's not going to be successful. And we have that here.
I know a lot of people are going to ask, is there any chance you see that this gets rescinded and that you continue to stay on as the head coach and possibly as the athletic director again?
Bryan, I don't see it happening. You get to the point now where, there's a lot of parents and community people that are wanting to do something, and that's very touching to me. But the bottom line is now, can I work here? If they go and try to put pressure and get it changed, and Mr. Dupree changes his mind, how's that relationship going to work? It's all about relationships, and when you break that relationship, you can restore it somewhat, but that's always there. And, I don't have to have this job. I love this job. I love the kids. I love the community. But as a coach, there's plenty of other opportunities for me. And that's the thing I would have to ask myself now. Can I work here? Mm-hmm. If it did happen, I don't see it happen. I think the administration has made their call, and they're going to stick by their guns. And is that the right decision? Only the future will tell. So I don't see it happen, to answer your question.
I know you're a godly man, and your faith means a lot to you. And I have to ask you, did you ever find yourself asking, after 2 years ago when you had the car wreck and almost died in the car wreck, and now you go through a season like this where you knew you were going to basically be a lame duck coach all year long, you're asking, did you ever ask God, what are you trying to tell me here?
Sure. Yeah, I have actually asked God. I said, God, I need a word from you. And he gave me that word. And it just basically is to move on. It came over the local Christian radio station. A little story about a little girl and her pearls. And the story ended, the little girl had to let those pearls go. She was holding on to her pearls. And then the radio guy said, what pearls are you holding on to? And so that was my little word from God. It's let go and let God. And I have a little stone in my pocket right now that says, let go and let God. So.
Well, I'm going to leave it on a positive note. I mean, regardless, somebody's going to come in here and inherit maybe even potentially a better team than you had this year. Would you not agree with that?
I would agree with that, but Bryan, it's not easy to put the quality team on the field that we just had. There's a lot goes into it unnoticed, and just because you got the kids coming back doesn't necessarily mean it's going to click again. Right. There's so many variables that you can't even understand, and people don't understand that. White House High School, in the history of this school, has not been able to do what we've done in the last 9 years. People say we have athletes now. Where were they before? Where have they been? Yeah, they're here now. Will they continue to be here? Will they continue to play? It's all very important in getting the right person in the right place. Mm-hmm. And that's critical for the success of any athletic program. So, yeah, it looks like all the ingredients are back, but you've got to build it again.
Chemistry means a great deal.
Chemistry and relationships are everything. And if you don't have those relationships and that chemistry, you can forget about winning on the field.
Well, Coach, I can't tell you how much we've enjoyed the last 2 years that we've worked, and thank you very much for being so open with us all the time, and thank you for the great games and the exciting moments and some great memories, and we wish you nothing but the best of luck, and we know that after a season like this, we got nothing to worry about. You're going to end up with a really good job. You're going to be able to take your pick, I would think.
Well, if that's what I choose to do, if that's what God has in store for me, it'll work out, and so we'll just take it day by day and see. And, man, I want to thank you guys for being there. It was a fun ride, and it was fun building this program. And it takes everybody. It takes from your superintendent all the way down to the guys that come and paint your field. And you guys are included. The radio was great. People really enjoyed the broadcast, and just hopefully it'll continue for White House High School for these kids.
Well, and we hope it'll continue with great success for you too, Coach.
Thank y'all again.
Hey, thanks, Coach. Coach Randy McFarlin on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.